we're gonna start today. It's a Vinyasa flow, functional flow today, combination of functional movement and yoga and strengthening. Starting off on your left side, you can lay down, head on your left bicep, legs straight and heels about in line with your sitting bones. Right hand could be in front of your chest, and then belly and ribs in. Let the head go. Extend from the core, lift your legs up. So you begin to tone not only the front of the body, but also the right side of the body. And we'll scissor our legs, keeping the legs hovering forward and back. You might want to be on your fingertips. Be mindful you're not laying into your lower back as you reach the leg back. So toning tube of toothpaste around your waist. For another 4, 3, 2, and 1. Keep that left leg forward. Prop up onto your left forearm so you can keep your legs are still hovering. Then bend the left knee and press yourself up. Sweep your right leg forward and spin your upper body to the back of the mat. And we'll play with those 2 postures. So as you lower down onto your left forearm, left leg forward, right leg back, push yourself up and twist as you sweep the back leg forward. Let's do that about 6 more times. Rhythm of your own breath. So this is functional movement, right? Coming from a almost prone, closer to the ground, side lying position towards the seat. A little bit of everything here. Landing as lightly as you can through the upper body and maintaining a sense of buoyancy in the upper body to bring yourself on up. It's about 2 more, so about 6 to 8. I find this move kind of addictive. And we'll bring it to center, upright, hands and knees onto all 4s. So hands below your shoulders, knees below your hips. Come down onto your left elbow, your left forearm, right hand where it is. Then stretch your right leg back, curl the toes under. Now you're gonna spring back. So reach the hips back, reach back to that right leg. And as you shift the weight forward, big bending of the right knee, big circle forward, right knee towards right elbow, and then reach it back. And you could curl those left toes under if that feels good to you. Let's do this about 6 to 8 times. Big sweeping of the right hip socket or within the right hip, and maintaining core awareness. 2 and 1. Hands and knees, all 4. A couple rounds of cat-cows for your rinse cycle. About 3 to 4. And we'll meet on the right side now. So coming onto your right side. Heels about in line with your sitting bones. And resting your head on your right bicep. Light on the fingertips or left hand down. Belly and ribs in. Lift your legs to hover. This side might be completely different. And scissor your legs. As mindfully as you can, forward and back without dropping the top hip back and without laying into your lower back. So as that back leg comes back, maintain a sense of toning through your sitting bones and wrap around your waist like a tube of toothpaste for another 3, 2, and 1. Meeting with the right leg forward. Prop yourself up onto your right forearm. Keep the legs hovering. Bend the right knee, push yourself up, and wrap the left leg towards the right and twist the upper body to the left. And as mindfully as you can, moving between those 2 shapes. So really acknowledging the transitions, the postures in between the postures as you embrace awkward, right? We're balancing out habitual patterns of movement, and a lot of us don't spend enough time on the ground. This is a functional movement of picking ourselves back on up. 2 more times. I'm dancing off the mat a little bit. So we're building a sense of resiliency in our bodies and in our minds. And then we'll meet on the side, coming onto your hands and knees onto all 4s. This time, come down to your right elbow, left hand stays down. Left leg back, curl the toes under, reach back into your hips like you're about to pounce. So get nice and buoyant. Belly and ribs in, big circle, left knee to left elbow, and then reach back. Let's do about 6 to 8 of those. Reach in around, a nice stretch for the body, right sole of the foot, and also strengthening. All right, we're using the strengthening to help us have one more stepping stone for acknowledging our capacity for adapting. And we'll bring it to center, hands and knees, all fours. Couple rounds, cat-cows. Move in any way that feels good to you. Wag your tail, side to side. And let's meet, curling the toes under, bringing the hips back, and keep the hips reaching back. Press the hands down and forward as you lift your hips up and back, pedaling it out. Bending one knee and the other. Maybe spin the heels, get a nice side stretch. And then we'll meet. Downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky, keep the hips square, and exhale. Step your right foot forward, spin the back foot flat, heel to arch alignment. Reverse warrior. Couple cycles of breath, couple counts. And on your next exhale, float your hands down to the ground. Three-legged down dog again, but lower down to your elbows, to your forearms. Now you're gonna stay here with the right leg lifted, pressing the inner wrist down or whatever variation you need, or a couple hops. You could play around. Bring your left heel towards the left side of your seat. Maybe one more. Good, and both feet down. Lift your heels, bend your knees, pull the hips back. You make your way into low push-up. So look forward, and as you exhale, lift the elbows, reach the chest forward, or make your way down dog, whatever flow you would like. And we'll do that on the other side. I'm gonna switch directions. So lift your left leg up, and as you exhale, left foot forward, back foot spins flat, reverse warrior, tilting back. About another count of 3, 2, 1. Float the hands down. Three-legged downward facing dog. Drop down to the elbows, stay here. Or tapping right heel towards your bottom, towards. We're not going for a forearm stand. We're just playing around. And make your way, left foot down. Lift your heels, bend your knees, reach the hips back and low. Keep it low as you lift the elbows, shift the weight into the hands. Taking a flow, and downward facing dog. Let's do that again. Right leg lifts up, right foot forward, spin the back foot flat. Reverse warrior. Right on down, exhale, three-legged down dog, lower the elbows down to the ground. This time 2, tapping, left heel towards your bottom, right foot down, lift the heels, bend the knees, taking that flow, shift the weight forward, and we'll meet. Downward facing dog, left leg up, left foot forward, back foot flat, reversing. Exhale, float the hands down, three-legged down dog to dolphin, elbows down. About 2 hops, dolphin hops. Left foot down, bend the knees, shift the weight forward, low push up. Cobra or up dog, downward facing dog. Couple cycles of breath. Whew. Pedal it out, child's pose. Whenever you need, lift the right heel. Right foot forward, spin the back foot flat. Reverse, I'm gonna change the angle so you can see. We'll make our way into skater's pose. So begin to come back on up, shifting the weight, teeny bit back, heels in, toes out, and sweep the arms to the right. Now for less intensity, stay more upright. For a little bit more oomph, lower down to the hips. And then side to side. So for more intensity, keep the hips low. And we'll add on optional breath work. So inhale to the left and exhale 3 quick side to side. And then big inhale around. Rhythm of your own breath. Couple more rounds. So about 3 quick exhales. And 1 big circling inhale. 1 more round. And we'll meet best you can, however way you want to transition. High lunge to the original front of the mat. Right foot is going to be forward. Then take your hands to your right thigh, palms facing down, and press down through the right heel, 45-degree angle upper body, and make your way into a warrior 3 variation. Belly and ribs in. Now you can stay here or lower the left toes down and lift from the left sitting bone. Do that about 4 more times. Relaxing the shoulders. Tube of toothpaste. And breathe. Good. And after your last round, standing splits or standing L, relax your face. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, step up, float it back, little push up. And then downward facing dog. Left leg lifts up. Inhale. Exhale, left foot forward. Spin the back foot flat. Reverse warrior. Into skater's pose to the left side. So heels in, toes out. Bend the knees, keep the hips low. Begin to move side to side, however you like with your arms. You could add the breath. However way you feel. If there's like a variation that calls to you more, go for it. So about like 3 quick exhales and 1 big sweeping inhale. Or breathe however supports you today. We'll do 1 more round. Don't worry about making anything perfect or too crisp. It's all good to be all over the place as long as you're being mindful. Let's meet high lunge, however way you want to transition. Crescent lunge, root down from the core of the pelvis down through the legs, lift the heart, and maintain that length of the spine, hands to the left thigh. Keep the left knee bent, shift the weight into your left leg, and lift your right leg. Tube of toothpaste around the waist. Stay here or tap the right toes down and lift. Be mindful that you're lifting from your sitting bone area and not the lower back. You're not dumping into the lower back. About 2 to 3 more. And last round. Stand and splits. Let that go. Pulling that outer left hip back. Relax your face. Inhale. Bend the left knee. Maybe a halfway lift. Exhale. Step hopper. Float it back. Cobra. Up dog. And downward facing dog. Pedaling it out. Feel free to come down to your knees at any time during this next one. Shift the weight forward into plank pose. Lift the right leg. Lower down to your right forearm and left forearm. So you can lower to the left knee if you need to. Then right hand down, left hand. Left elbow, right elbow. Left hand, right hand. Stay here. Bring your right knee towards your left wrist. Lower down to your right hip. And then lower down to your right forearm. And then sweep the left leg forward and around. So some awkward movement here. Sweep it back. Keep your right elbow down. Reach your right leg back. Right knee to the left. Sweep the left leg forward. And sweep it around and back. Let's do that about 3 to 4 more times. Exploring different movement patterns. The brain, nervous system, body loves just the right amount of novelty to keep things interesting. And balance also keeps us from going into automatic. Sometimes it's nice to place our attention elsewhere. And after your last round, we'll slowly release, make your way. Downward facing dog, pedal it out, or feel free to take a child's pose. Shift the weight forward. Left leg lifts, left elbow, right elbow. Left hand, right hand. Right elbow, right hand, left knee towards the right. Lower down onto the outer left hip as you lower down to your left forearm. And sweep the right leg forward, up and around, big circle. Back, keep the left forearm down and reach the left leg back. Left knee to the right, right leg forward, big circle around, hug around the waist. Exploring, we're not trying to make anything, again, too crisp. About 3, 4 more times. Around. Got some pockets of fire with this class today. Up and around. We'll do about 1 more. Up and around. And hands and knees. Child's pose for a breath or 2. Or downward facing dog. Connecting with your breath, connecting to yourself. And then moving on. Make your way downward facing dog. Hips up and back. And inhale, right leg lifts up. Plank as you bring the right knee forward. Keep hugging the right knee into your chest. Spin onto your inner left foot, side plank variation. Left arm to the sky, right shoulder blade back. Stay here or grab onto the outer edge of your right foot. Or keep the right leg hovering and lengthening for 3, 2, 1. Left hand down, bend the right knee into the chest. And onto the left side, keep the right knee into the chest or extend the right leg for 3, 2, 1. Look to the top of the mat, bend the right knee and step the right foot forward. As many steps as you need. Reverse warrior, tilting it back. Come back on up, skater's pose to the right. Sweep to the right. Breathing here. And now we'll sweep to the left. Turn your left toes to the left. We're gonna come into a half moon variation. So shift the weight into your left leg. Lift the right leg, so like hovering here. And as the hips reach back, see if you could reach your right leg forward. So you're hinging at the right hip crease. And then toning your glutes as you bring the right leg back. Do that about 2 to 3 more times. It is all good to dance. Tube of toothpaste around your waist. And last round. Bend the left knee. Reach back into extended side angle variation, like you're holding onto a giant beach ball. Belly and ribs in. Breathe. Back leg a strong, clear standing leg. Ribs in for 3, 2, 1. Triangle. Straighten the left leg. Left hand higher up on the shin than you normally do. Landing in your triangle. Sides of the waist long. And then root down, rise up all the way on up to standing. And bring your toes in, heels out, long through the spine, forward fold. Any variation you like. Hands could be below the shoulders, or fingertips could be wide, elbows wide, shifting the weight slightly forward. Keeping those legs strong and awake. You're pulling up, especially from your inner knee to your inner groins as you press outer edges of the feet down. Releasing into a halfway lift. Walk your hands to the front of the mat and step it back. Down dog. Take a high to low push up if you like. Move in any way that feels good. Reconnecting to your breath. Okay. Plank pose. Left knee hugs into your chest. Spin onto the inner edge of your right foot. So you're on your left hand, right arm up. Stay here or grab onto the outer edge of your left foot as you reach your left leg forward. Stay here or keep the left leg hovering, right arm up to the sky. Left shoulder back of the heart for 3, 2, 1. Left knee into the chest. Plank. And spin onto the outer edge of your right foot. And left knee can stay into the chest or left leg hovers for 3, We're dancing. 2, 1, bend the left knee, look to the top of the mat, step your left foot forward, spin the back foot flat, woo, reverse warrior, skater's pose to the left. So my heels are in, toes are out, sinking down low for a little bit more intensity. For 3, 2, 1, skater to the right, turn your toes to the right, making your way into half moon variation. So hands could be to the hips, lift your left leg to hover, and hinging at the right hip crease a little bit, and the left hip crease, bring your left leg forward, and belly and ribs in as you sweep the left leg back. Do that about 2, 3 more times. It's all good to dance. It's a sign of trying something new. As I totally encourage falling as you embrace the weebles and the wobbles. You're cultivating a sense of adaptability. Then reach the left leg back into extended side angle with the giant beach ball in between your hands. Belly and ribs in and firm and wrap. Middle of your right seat down and under for 3, 2, 1. Straighten the right leg. Triangle, left arm up to the sky. Still maintaining strong legs. So you're hugging in from the ground to the core of your pelvis. Send that energy back and out to the ground, through the spine, through the arms, through the tailbone and the head. And then root down, rise up. Bring your toes in, heels out. Interlace your hands behind your back. Open up through the chest. And exhale, we fold. Whatever variation you like with the arms. Make sure the hips are not dumping back. Shift the weight a little bit more forward into the toes, towards the toes, and strengthen the legs. And soften your hip creases. And breathe, shoulders away from your ears. For another 3, 2, and 1. Hands release to the ground. Halfway lift. Walk your hands to the front of the mat and step it back. Down dog or high to low push-up. Whatever you need today. And we'll meet downward facing dog. Plank pose. Taking breaks whenever you need. And as you come into plank pose, you're going to lower your left knee down. And you're going to bend the right knee to the right. So you can watch me here. We'll come into like a squat. So I walk my hands back. So I'm curling my left toes under, my left knee forward. I'm in the ball of my right foot and right knee out to the right. And we'll alternate between one-legged or three-legged plank pose with the right leg lifted and coming back into the squat position. So right leg lifts, then left knee down, and make your way to squat. You can bring your hands to your heart. You may need to take a couple times to walk the hands forward and back, or go for the best buoyant launching or pouncing forward and back as you can. Engaging the core and maintain that awareness of the back body as you embrace awkward here. Let's do 3 to 4 more. This is one of my new favorite moves. Gets a little bit of everything. Super functional upper body, lower body, front body, back body, core awareness. And let's meet downward facing dog, just to pedal that out. And we'll do the other side, plank, left leg lifts. As the left knee comes down, you can walk the hands back as you bring the left knee to the left. So left toes face more to the left, curling the toes under. Pause here to reorientate yourself on this side. Reorientate yourself in space and bring it forward. Three-legged down dog or three-legged plank. Woo! This side might be different. Okay, so allow those hands to be springy, like cat-like paws as you maintain a sense of buoyancy. Okay, this side might be completely different. It is for me. Let's do 3 to 4 more. You can go as fast or slow as you like a little bit of a push-up. to make your way on up, or you can walk the hands back. And one more. Whew. And we'll meet. Downward facing dog, pedal it out. Lower down to your knees. Cross into your ankles, come onto your bottom. Reverse tabletop variation. So heels or feet parallel, heels about in line with your sitting bones. Walk your hands back, fingertips facing forward. First, lift the heart. When you lift the heart, then the hips don't feel as heavy. It can become more accessible. So first, lift the heart, lift your hips, and then bend the elbows and lower the hips down. And lift and lower. Keep lifting and lowering. You can lower the hips all the way down or let them hover. We'll do about 5 more like that. 5 more as we get the triceps and press to the heels and activate and awaken the glutes. So lift up, belly and ribs in, lifting up. Press to the heels to get that hip extension. And one more. And slowly releasing. You can sit down, roll the shoulders out a couple times. Some neck rolls. Blanket if you need, we'll meet on our knees. So blanket is for comfort. Variation of camel's pose, curl the toes under. And again, engaging your glutes. Engage the bottom fibers of your glutes. Lift the frontal hip points, belly and ribs in. Turn to the right. Keep that awareness. So you don't want this to become any kind of dumping into lower back. Long spine, look over your right shoulder, right hand, either to the back of the right thigh, right calf, or right heel. Reach the left arm up. You could gaze towards your right shoulder. So there's a slight twisting to the right side. And breathe for 3, 2, and 1. Press down to come on up, facing center. Again, reestablish like mountain feet. Hug the legs in towards each other. If you have a block or a ball, that could be a nice prop to help hug into midline. Lift the frontal hip points, nice and long spine. Twist to the left, left hand to left heel or calf or back of the thigh. Right arm lifts up and breathe. So pressing down through the balls of the feet, hugging into the core. For 3, 2, and 1. Root down, come all the way on up. So maintain that sense of tuba toothpaste, activating the bottom fibers of your glutes, a variation of camel pose. You could keep your hands to your hips, lift the frontal hip points, press down and lift the sternum. Stay here, or again, tone the bottom fibers of your glutes, reaching towards the back of the thighs, calves, blocks, or heels for your camel pose. Belly and ribs in. Tone the bottom fibers of your glutes, length through the spine for 3. Broaden through the collarbones, 2. And 1, mindful as you can. Lift from the back of the ribs. Come on to your heels. Pause, notice any shifts or changes. Okay, rock it forward into half pigeon pose. Right knee to the outside of your right wrist, whatever variation you like. Curl the left toes under, left leg straight out from your left hip. You could come onto forearms. Taking time to pause and feel the effects of all your efforts. That internal yoga buzz you created in a short amount of time. Again, getting the heart rate up, moving through any areas of stagnation in a short amount of time, and also strengthening. Using these movements and experience of strengthening, again, to acknowledge our capacity, keeping that awareness of our center. Now this core work is an acknowledgement and a strengthening of our sense of self so that we are available in a way that we would like to be, not only on the mat, but also off the mat, everyday life. And slowly transitioning, we'll switch sides. Right knee back, left knee forward. Whatever variation you like here, just make sure the right knee is coming straight out. Right leg straight out from the hip. You can lower down your face, forehead to block, or hands, relaxing your face. Acknowledging all the purposeful, awkward movements you explored today to cultivate a sense of resiliency and adaptability as we balance out our habitual patterns, especially in movement, in modern day living, and also our sense of being. Our body adapts and moves according to our environment. So it's really important to invite in a sense of variability to balance things out. And slowly releasing, coming onto your hands, your knees, even any way that feels good. Onto our backs. Lying down onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest. Little rock side to side. And bring your arms to your sides, palms facing up. Lower your knees to the left, whatever supine twist you like. Allowing yourself to enter a space of non-doing, just as important as all that doing. Keeping the shoulder blades heavy. Accepting that sense of support, the ground, your breath. And allowing yourself and accepting brings a sense of permission to let go from that sense of support. Knees to the center and knees to the right. You could turn your head to the left. Relaxing your face. Breathing three-dimensionally. Perimeters of your being, especially the back body, back of the ribs. Slowly bring it to center. Any other posture you feel like you need to round out your practice. Happy baby is always nice one. Soles of the feet to the sky. Rock it side to side. And Shavasana, your resting pose. That could be legs straight out. If you have your legs straight out and you're lying on your back, feel free to take up lots of space. As you give the weight of your body to the ground, you are supported. Permission to take up lots of space. Permission to be supported. As you soften from the inside out. Inviting more space in between your teeth, especially your back teeth, especially the back molars. Unhinging your jaw, softening your throat. Allowing your body to melt and spread across the ground. You can stay here as long as you have more time, as long as you need or want or can. If not, slowly begin to deepen your breath, bringing movement back to fingers and toes. Gently turn your head side to side. And with awareness, bring your legs close together, bending one knee and the other. Hug them into your chest. Give yourself a hug of gratitude for investing this time on your mat. Let's roll on over to the right side. Pause there. And then head is the last thing to come on up. Press yourself up to comfortable seated position. Eyes could be closed or a soft gaze. Overlap your hands on top of your heart as you think of one thing in your life that you are grateful for, no matter how big or small. And together, one cleansing breath. First, empty out all the air from your lungs. Inhale through your nose, fill up. Exhale, ha. And as always, gratitude for practicing together. May it all be a benefit to us and everybody else around us. Namaste.